Gypsy Rose Blanchard settles her divorce with Ryan Anderson. Sources tell TMZ that the judge has officially signed the divorce papers, meaning they both can get their copies now. But she would have known that the day she went into court. What is said by the judge that day when he orders the judgment is that he's granting the divorce, it's done. But a lot of times judges don't sign the paper and give you a copy yet. It can take weeks sometimes to get your copy.
Every state, when it comes to a divorce, handles things very different. I know in Georgia, if you're pregnant and you're wanting a divorce, you actually cannot get a divorce until the baby is born. Whether it's your husband's or it's not, the divorce cannot be finalized until the baby is born. However, in Louisiana, she was able to get the divorce, but within 300 days of that baby being born, after a divorce, there has to be a paternity test. And I'm not sure if he's able to waive his rights to that. I know Gypsy allegedly did want the paternity test that she took earlier last month or the month before to come into play, but that wasn't allowed.
Ryan and Gypsy's divorce case has finally reached a conclusion, with the judge officially signing off on their divorce. This marks a significant turning point for Ryan, as he's now free from any marital ties to Gypsy Rose. Both individuals can finally move forward with their separate lives. Ryan took a mature approach by deciding to settle the divorce out of court, rather than engaging in prolonged legal battles. By doing this, he not only avoided multiple court proceedings, but also saved himself from the hefty fees that come with such battles.
Done. It was done and finalized the day she went into court, and that's what the hearing was for. But it is now completely settled because the judge has signed off on the paperwork. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is finally putting her first marriage behind her. It looks like both she and Ryan Anderson have reached a settlement in their divorce. According to a court clerk, a judge hadn't yet signed off on it. That's typically how it goes. Ryan's lawyer, Jeffrey Carrier, tells TMZ his client skipped the court appearance to save on those pricey attorney fees. And why would he? She's pregnant by somebody else. He wasn't going to contest it.
The only remaining matter between the two is the division of their community property. Let's explore how this division might unfold and why Ryan's win in the divorce case is so significant. Ryan and Gypsy are now officially divorced, marking the end of what has been a tumultuous chapter in both their lives. Ryan chose to proceed with an absolute divorce, a no-fault arrangement where neither party assigns blame for the dissolution of their marriage. For those unfamiliar, an absolute divorce is often seen as a more amicable route, avoiding the messy accusations that can arise in at-fault cases. Interestingly, Ryan had every reason to pursue an at-fault divorce, as he possessed substantial evidence of Gypsy's adultery during their marriage. However, he opted to waive this right, showing a clear desire to avoid unnecessary conflict and public drama. The decision speaks volumes about Ryan's character and his intent to prioritize a peaceful resolution over retribution or vindication. Another critical component of the divorce settlement was the agreement that neither party would receive spousal support. Ryan's lawyer, Jeffrey Carrier, explained that the only matter still unresolved is the division of their community property. In Louisiana, all assets and debts acquired during the marriage are clarified as community property.
The exes already agreed on no spousal support, but the division of community property is still on the table. It was a quick marriage, but these are some contracts still hanging in the balance. What? Pixie? What community property? The division of $15,000 that's sitting in a bank account? No, Ryan doesn't make enough money to have spousal support taken from him, and they were not married long enough for that to have occurred. Gypsy doesn't make enough money to pay spousal support. From my understanding, they weren't together long enough for either of them to ask for spousal support from each other. But as far as community property, an apartment or a dog, both of which she had no interest in whatsoever. So I don't see how, what division of what community property. She took her stuff and she left and she went to her dad's house.
This means everything from income and investments to vehicles and real estate falls under this category. However, in Ryan and Gypsy's case, their shared assets seem to be primarily financial. Reports suggest they did not acquire significant physical property such as cars or a home during their marriage, making the division of financial resources the main focus. This aspect of the divorce could play a pivotal role in providing Ryan with some closure and a fresh start after what has undoubtedly been an emotional, challenging ordeal. This division could be a potential turning point for Ryan. Under Louisiana law, community property is typically divided equally between both parties unless there's a prenuptial agreement or mutual agreement to do otherwise. Since Ryan and Gypsy did not have a prenuptial agreement, the division will likely follow the standard 50-50 split. This means Ryan could walk away with a portion of the earnings Gypsy accumulated during their marriage. And let's not forget, Gypsy's financial portfolio includes substantial earnings from her documentaries, lifetime shows, and books, all of which she achieved while still married to Ryan. It's worth noting that in some states, the length of a marriage plays a role in how community property is divided. However, in Louisiana, the duration of the marriage doesn't matter. This works in Ryan's favor because it ensures an equal split of the assets, regardless of how long they were married.
So Gypsy Rose obviously coerced or was able to get Ryan to overlook anything that he's done and not handle it in court. He's dropping everything and she's dropping everything, and they're basically calling it quits. The financials will be handled later on, and that's pretty much it. I feel bad for Ryan, and I also am irritated with him because I feel like if someone would have embarrassed me the way she did, and I'm talking about she has really attacked his manhood, who he is as a person, even claims of abuse at one point. There's too many things that she's done. I personally would have took her to the cleaners because I would have made sure she learned a lesson. Like, you can play with anybody you want to play with. You can play with all the toys in the world. You could go into Target and Walmart and play in the play section, but baby, don't play with me. That's just my personal opinion. I think that Ryan does not think he's part of the problem, but he really truly is, because at the end of the day, if Gypsy did not have people out here allowing her to do the things that she does, she wouldn't do it. She plays with the people that she knows she can play with. And I feel like he is one of those people that she feels like she could play with.
Although Ryan's life has been turned upside down by this divorce, this financial settlement might provide him with a small sense of closure. It's not a remedy for the emotional pain he's endured, but it's a consolation prize of sorts. One important detail to consider is that the community property on the table excludes any assets owned by either party after their court hearing at the end of July. This hearing, which Ryan chose to skip due to transportation and attorney costs, was pivotal in officially ending their community property regime. By establishing this cutoff, the court ensured that neither party would be entitled to any new earnings or assets acquired by the other after that point forward. Additionally, both Ryan and Gypsy were prohibited from using or depleting the assets accumulated during their marriage without mutual consent. This safeguard was designed to protect the fairness of the eventual division of property. To facilitate the process, both parties were required to submit sworn detailed descriptive lists by the end of August. These lists are comprehensive documents detailing every asset in their names, from bank accounts to investments and any other financial holdings. The accuracy and transparency of these lists are crucial, as they will form the foundation for determining how the community property is divided. This stage of the divorce proceedings underscores the importance of due diligence and accountability in achieving a fair resolution. Throughout the arduous process, Ryan has exhibited remarkable composure and dignity. He has refrained from bad-mouthing Gypsy or exposing their private issues to the public, even when provoked. This restraint speaks to Ryan's character and his desire to move forward without unnecessary drama. In stark contrast, Gypsy has taken a much different approach, frequently airing private details of their relationship. One such instance occurred when she leaked personal messages in which Ryan had complimented her appearance and expressed that he missed her. These messages, handed over to one of Gypsy's controversial friends for public exposure, appear to be an attempt to humiliate Ryan. Despite the obvious betrayal, Ryan chose not to retaliate, further highlighting his commitment to maintaining his integrity during this challenging time. Gypsy also added fuel to the fire during an interview with People magazine. She claimed one of the reasons for their split was her lack of attraction to Ryan, which she said affected their private life.
I don't know about the rest of the world, but if this doesn't show you just how rotten and despicable Gypsy Rose Blanchard is, I don't know if there's any helping you. Gypsy Rose Blanchard says she didn't enjoy sex with Ryan Scott Anderson, despite once saying that the D is fire. Gypsy Rose Blanchard isn't holding back when it comes to her tumultuous love life. The famed victim, supposed self-proclaimed victim of undiagnosed Munchausen by proxy 33, whose gripping new memoir, My Time to Stand, will be released today, December 10th, has finalized her divorce from her ex, Ryan Scott Anderson, and is currently happily with boyfriend Ken Urker. In an exclusive interview with People this week, she opens up about their sex life and what went on behind closed doors that helped encourage her decision to call it quits. I still struggled when I first came out of prison, Blanchard says, of her sex life, after being released from Missouri's Chillicothe Correctional Facility, where she served 8 years of a 10-year sentence for her part in the murder of her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard. No, it wasn't.
This contradicted her earlier public statements where she'd praised Ryan for being an amazing partner. To make matters worse, she contrasted Ryan's efforts with her new relationship, further humiliating him. These remarks reveal a pattern in Gypsy's behavior, one that many have criticized for being manipulative and self-serving. It's becoming increasingly clear that Ryan was a victim of Gypsy's manipulation. After his release from prison, Gypsy needed a partner to help her appear stable and put together. Ryan, deeply in love with her, filled that role perfectly. But once Gypsy no longer needed him, she discarded him. This pattern of using people isn't new for Gypsy. Similar behavior was evident in her past relationships, where she manipulated her partners to serve her own interests. For Ryan, the divorce signifies freedom from a toxic relationship, even if he doesn't fully realize it yet. His feelings for Gypsy likely linger, but in time, he may come to see this as a blessing in disguise. Unlike Gypsy's current partner, Ken, Ryan doesn't share a child with her, sparing him from further entanglements. Ken's situation is more complex, as he'll likely face challenges co-parenting with someone as polarizing as Gypsy. As the division of their community property approaches, it is safe to say that Ryan stands to gain more than Gypsy. This outcome would be a much-needed win for Ryan, a man who's handled this entire deal with grace and maturity. Gypsy's repeated provocations and public outbursts only highlight her inability to control her emotions, contrasting sharply with Ryan's composed demeanor. What are your thoughts on this divorce saga? Do you think Ryan's decision to avoid court hearings was wise? How do you see the community property division playing out? Will Ryan get an equal share, or will Gypsy's circumstances sway the court's decision? Share your opinions in the comment section, and do not forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this and other celebrity stories.